Good morning, students. Today we'll start nuclear force and its properties. So, what is nuclear force? The force which binds the nucleons inside the nucleus is called nuclear force. The force acting between the nucleons, that means acting between the protons and neutrons. The force which acts between the nucleus, that means protons and neutrons inside the nucleus, and binds the nucleons inside the nucleus, it's called nuclear force. Now, what are its properties? First, it is the strongest force in nature. So if we take a ratio, gravitational force is to electrostatic force is to nuclear force. That is 1 is to 10 to the power 36 is to 10 to the power 38. That means electrostatic force is 10 to the power 36 times stronger than gravitational force. And nuclear force is 100 times stronger than electromagnetic force. Next, variation with distance. So, if we go for a graph, force versus distance between the nucleons, the graph is something like this. So, R in femtometer. So, when the distance between the nucleons is between 1 to 5 femtometer, the force is attractive because it is in negative side. But when the distance is less than 1 femtometer, the force is repulsive. When the distance is greater than 5 femtometer, the force is almost zero. So we can say it is a short range force because when the distance is above 5 femtometer, the force is almost zero. Fourth property is that it is charge independent. That means the nuclear force between two protons, the nuclear force between a proton and neutron, and the nuclear force between two neutrons, all are equal in strength. So it is independent of charge. Next property is that it is spin dependent. That means if the spin is same, that is called parallel spin, then the force is more. For anti-parallel spin or opposite spin, nuclear force is less. The next property is that it is an exchange force. That means it is due to exchange of pi meson. Nuclear force arises due to exchange of pi meson according to Yukawa theory. Next, it is a non-central force. And the last part is it doesn't obey inverse square law. It doesn't, the force is not inversely proportional to square of distance. So it doesn't follow inverse square law. These are the properties of nuclear force. Next, N versus Z ratio and nuclear stability. So let us draw a graph between number of neutrons and number of protons, that is N versus Z. Now this line represents N equal to Z or N by Z equal to 1. This side upper side of the line represents n greater than z or n by z greater than 1. This side represents n less than z or n by z less than 1. Now, if we draw all the stable nucleus, the stability curve is something like this. The stability region lies in here. So, up to z less than 20, the nucleus is stable when n equal to z or n by z equal to 1. For z greater than 20, the stability region shifts towards n greater than z or n by z n by z greater than 1. If n by z is less than 1, the nucleus is highly unstable. This is due to saturation property of nuclear force. So, when z is less than 20, the size of the nucleus is small. So, now nucleus will be stable if there is a symmetry between number of neutrons and number of protons. So, up to z equal to 20, the nucleus is stable when n by z equal to 1. But when z greater than 20, the size of the nucleus increases. Now, nuclear force is a short range force. Nuclear force is a short range force. So, now consider two protons here. The distance is very much larger, so no nuclear force acts between them. At this case, nucleus can be stable if there are more number of neutrons. So, the curve shifts towards n greater than z. Next, we'll go for Einstein's mass energy equivalence. Now, what is Einstein's mass energy equivalence? This theorem relates mass with energy. That means mass can be converted into energy and energy can be converted into mass. So, according to this equation, mass is just another form of energy. This relation says that E equal to mc square. That means if m amount of mass is completely converted into energy, the energy content will be mc square. Here E is the energy, m mass, and c, this is speed of light in vacuum. That is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Now, if 1 kg mass is completely converted into energy, the energy content will be 1 into 3 into 10 to the power 8 whole square. That is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 16 joule. So, if 1 kg is completely converted into energy, the energy content will be 9 into 10 to the power 16 joule. Next, we will go for atomic mass unit, or that is called unified mass unit. So, 1 atomic mass unit, it is equal to 1/12 the mass of carbon 12 atom. It is nearly equal to 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Now, we'll find the energy equivalent of 1 AMU. Now, E equal to 1 AMU into C square, that is equal to 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 into 9 into 10 to the power 16 joule. Now, if we convert it into EV, it it is equal to divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 eV. That is nearly equal to 931.5 into 10 to the power 6 eV, which is equal to 931.5 mega electron volt. This is the energy content of 1 AMU.